In our galaxy, the Milky Way, there is an astonishing secret. Up to 40 billion planets may be located in the habitable zone of their stars. This means that on these planets, theoretically, there could be conditions suitable for life as we know it. Imagine this: for every 5 stars, there is one planet where the temperature allows water to remain in liquid form and thus create conditions for life. And now, the most intriguing part. Astronomers have discovered that around 30% of all stars in our galaxy have such planets. But that's not all. Among these 30 billion planets, there are those that are similar in size and composition to Earth. For instance, the planet Proxima Centauri b, located just 4 light-years away from us, has a mass comparable to Earth's and is in the habitable zone of its star. Do you know what this means? If we could travel at the speed of light, we could reach it in an instant, but for now this is just a dream. Astronomers continue to use new methods, such as the transit method, to find such distant worlds, and every year they discover new planets that could be habitable. Remember, for astronomers, life is not limited to the forms we know. It could be something entirely different from what we can imagine. For example, on a planet with high atmospheric pressure and temperature, there could be organisms that we cannot even conceive of. If you thought that everything in our galaxy was already known, consider that for every known planet, there could be hundreds of newly discovered ones. And here's another shocking fact. Astronomers suggest that there may be planets in the habitable zone that do not orbit a star but freely travel through space. This means that life could develop in complete darkness. What do you think of such a prospect? Dark energy is another mysterious substance, making up approximately 68% of the universe, and it is this force that causes the cosmos to expand at an accelerating rate. Imagine sitting in a car that not only moves but also speeds up every second, even though you're not pressing the gas pedal. Scientists first began to suspect the existence of dark energy in the 90s, when observations of distant supernovae revealed that their light reached us with less brightness than expected. This was a shock, as if the universe itself decided to slip away from us. But that's not all. These observations indicate that the expansion of the universe is not just continuing, but accelerating. How is this possible? The answer lies in the fact that dark energy acts as a counterbalance to gravity, creating a force that propels galaxies as if they were caught in a whirlwind. But what is it? Some scientists suggest it is related to the vacuum energy, while others believe it could be a manifestation of an as-yet unexplored physical theory. And here's where it gets truly mind-boggling. According to some calculations, dark energy may possess properties that allow it to interact with other forms of matter, although we cannot yet detect this. Picture this: something that permeates the entire universe, yet remains undetected. If you thought dark matter was a complex enigma, then dark energy simply leaves us bewildered. Research shows that in the future, with the help of new technologies and more powerful telescopes, we will be able to get closer to this mysterious force. But there's another astonishing fact. Dark energy may not be constant, but rather change over time, which challenges our understanding of how the universe behaves. What future awaits our galaxy if dark energy changes its strength? Questions multiply and answers remain in the shadows. And here's something even more intriguing. There are suggestions that in the distant future, dark energy could cause the universe to expand so much that all galaxies become inaccessible to each other, and we will be forever isolated in our own cosmic corner. At the center of some galaxies lie quasars, which are the brightest objects in the universe. Their luminosity can exceed the luminosity of 1 trillion stars. Imagine these incredible energy sources emitting light that travels through billions of light-years to reach us. But what is their secret? Quasars form around supermassive black holes whose mass can reach 1 billion solar masses. When matter enters their gravitational field, it forms an accretion disk, heating up to incredible temperatures and emitting colossal amounts of energy. This energy can be so powerful that when we observe quasars at distances of billions of light-years, We see their light as if they were just a few 100 million light-years away. But that's not all. Quasars can emit X-rays and radio waves, creating powerful jets that extend for millions of light-years into space. What's even more astonishing? These jets can interact with the surrounding medium, forming vast regions known as radio galaxies, which carry information about the process of galaxy formation. Furthermore, quasars can serve as indicators of the expansion of the universe. When we observe their light, we gain data on how quickly distant galaxies are moving away. Scientific research shows that quasars can be active for only a few million years before fading, making them short-lived but incredibly powerful objects. For example, one of the most famous quasars, designated as 3C273, is located more than 11 billion light-years away from Earth and emits light that we see as it was in the early universe, when it was only about 8 billion years old. This makes them not only sources of light but also windows into the past, allowing astronomers to study the evolution of galaxies and the structure of the universe. However, despite all our discoveries, many mysteries of quasars remain unsolved, and scientists continue to seek answers to questions about how they influence galaxy formation and what happens in their centers. Remember that behind quasars lie giant black holes whose mass can be 100 times greater than the mass of our entire galaxy. On Titan, Saturn's moon, there are methane lakes that are comparable in size to the largest bodies of water on Earth. Imagine a lake covering 30 square kilometers filled not with water but with liquid methane that freezes at minus 166 degrees Celsius. And that's not all. Titan's atmosphere is 3 times denser than Earth's and is composed of 96% nitrogen, making it similar in composition to the ancient atmosphere of our planet. But what is truly intriguing is that beneath this thick cloud cover, there may be life as we know it, or even a completely different form of life based on methane. Did you know that complex organic molecules, such as amines and alcohols, have already been found on Titan? These compounds could serve as building blocks for life, as they did on Earth billions of years ago. But wait, Titan is not just a cold world. It is also a place where active meteorology creates sand dunes up to 100 meters high, and methane rains can cause real floods, creating new lakes and rivers. Now imagine that on this moon there could be microbial life forms that have adapted to extreme conditions, methane-breathing bacteria that could breathe methane instead of oxygen. There are theories that such organisms could have survived even in conditions when the entire Earth was covered in ice. But that's not all, because scientists plan to send new missions to Titan to study its surface and atmosphere. Studying this mysterious moon could open windows to worlds we never even suspected and force us to rethink our understanding of life in the universe. If you think this is already incredible, know that Titan has its own seasons, like Earth, which can last up to 30 years, opening new horizons for study. Imagine a planet where instead of ordinary soil and rocks, there are crystals sparkling like precious gems beneath your feet. Such is the planet 55 Cancri E, located 445 light-years away from us. This exoplanet, twice the size of Earth, may have a core consisting of 30% diamond. Have you ever wondered how this is possible? The surface temperature reaches 800 degrees Celsius, and the atmospheric pressure is 8 times greater than on our planet. These conditions are ideal for forming diamonds from carbon, which is abundant in the atmosphere. Scientists believe that it is precisely due to such pressure and temperature that carbon compounds change their structure, transforming into shiny crystals. But that's not all. The planet may not have water as we know it, and instead there may be an ocean of molten metals. And here arises the question, what else do such planets hide? Are there other worlds where diamonds are so common that they become an ordinary occurrence? Around the star we call Cancri, other planets have been discovered, and they too may harbour their secrets. For example, the planet HD 26300b located in one of the nearby star systems, has similar conditions and may also contain diamonds in its core. But what if some of these planets have atmospheres rich in heavy metals, which could also form unique crystals? Each new day brings new discoveries, and astronomers, using telescopes like Kepler and TESS, continue to search for such planets. They study the spectra of light passing through the atmospheres of exoplanets and can detect traces of carbon, methane, and other compounds. So there is still much to learn about how such extraordinary worlds form. And the most exciting part? Scientists believe that in our galaxy alone there may be billions of planets similar to 55 Cancri E. Imagine a star rotating so quickly that its axis of rotation completes a full revolution in just a few milliseconds. This is a pulsar. These extraordinary objects, which are neutron stars, are formed as a result of the collapse of massive stars, and their density is such that 1 teaspoon of pulsar material weighs almost 1 billion tons. The most amazing thing? Pulsars emit radio waves with such precision that some scientists refer to them as cosmic clocks. For example, pulsar PSRJ 1909-3744 rotates at a speed of 14 times per second, providing stability that exceeds the accuracy of atomic clocks. This means that its signals can be used to measure time with an accuracy of milliseconds. But that's not all. Pulsars can interact with gravitational waves, making them ideal for studying the effects of Einstein's general theory of relativity. This connection can help scientists better understand how gravity affects time and space. Now, imagine that pulsars could become important elements in future cosmic navigation systems. If you thought that was already incredible, consider this. Some pulsars are located more than 3,000 light-years away from Earth, and their radio signals can travel billions of kilometers before reaching our telescopes. It's interesting to note that in the 20th century, scientists discovered pulsars by chance while studying radio waves and initially thought they were signals from an extraterrestrial civilization. In reality, these cosmic lighthouses can tell us about the state of the universe, its structure, and even how galaxies formed. What's even more astonishing, pulsars can be so stable that their signals allow astronomers to detect changes in the gravitational field caused by the movement of massive objects, such as black holes or even other stars. Each such signal is not just a radio wave, but a message from the distant past that can shed light on mysteries we never even suspected. The spacecraft Voyager 1 has become a true symbol of human ambition. It left the confines of the solar system and continues its journey into the vast expanse of space. Launched in 1977, this spacecraft weighed slightly less than 800 kilograms and was equipped with a unique set of instruments designed for studying the gas giants. Voyager 1 flew past Jupiter, where it took stunning images of the giant red spot and discovered numerous new moons, such as Io, which is covered in active volcanoes. But this was just the beginning of its journey. On its way to Saturn, it captivated the world with its breathtaking images of the planet's rings in unprecedented detail. What is remarkable is that Voyager 1 is currently more than 23 billion kilometers away from Earth. This distance is equivalent to more than 6,000 times the distance to the Moon. Traveling at an incredible speed of nearly 40,000 kilometers per hour, the spacecraft continues to send data about the interstellar medium, which, incidentally, is filled with mysteries. On board, there are golden discs with recordings of sounds and music representing the diversity of human culture, intended for possible extraterrestrial civilizations. But here's the most unexpected part. Voyager 1 was the first object to cross the boundary of the heliosphere, the region where the solar wind still influences the surrounding space. This boundary is located at a distance of about 150 astronomical units from the Sun, and it was there that Voyager 1 felt the influence of stellar winds from other stars. But what is even more astonishing? The spacecraft is still functioning and sending us data. even though its power depends on radioisotope generators that lose power over time. Thus, Voyager 1 continues its journey through interstellar space, exploring the unknown. Scientists expect it to transmit data until around 2024, when its energy will finally run out. It's intriguing to wonder what other mysteries it might uncover before it plunges into the silence of space. At the northern pole of Saturn, there is a hexagonal storm that is breathtaking in its scale. Its diameter is a staggering 25,000 kilometers, comparable to the size of the entire planet Earth. This storm has existed for decades, and scientists are still trying to unravel its mysteries. What is most astonishing is that its shape resembles a perfect hexagon, which is absolutely atypical for atmospheric phenomena on planets. How has the storm managed to maintain such precise geometric form over such a long period? The secret lies in the unique atmospheric conditions of Saturn, where wind speeds can exceed 130 kilometers per hour, creating powerful vortices and stable flows. Imagine a planet where gases and liquids mix in a chaotic dance, and yet such an ideal hexagon can persist for decades. But that's not all. The temperature at the center of this storm can reach minus 140 degrees Celsius, creating a striking contrast between hot and cold flows. For example, NASA scientists have discovered that the storm changes colors ranging from bright yellow to deep blue depending on the time of year and the angle of illumination. But what happens in the very heart of this storm? Scientists hypothesize that there may be powerful convective flows that lift gases from the depths of the atmosphere, creating stunning visual effects. Furthermore, analysis of data collected by the Cassini probe has shown that this storm may be the result of complex interactions between the atmosphere and Saturn's magnetic field. What is even more astonishing, over the course of their observations, scientists have noticed that the storm periodically moves across the northern pole, changing its position as if dancing across the planet's surface. And this dance occurs in conditions that we cannot even imagine, clouds of ammonia and water ice, rushing at speeds exceeding the speed of sound. There is a hypothesis that the hexagonal storm may be linked to changes in solar radiation, and this opens up new horizons for the study of atmospheric processes not only on Saturn but also on other gas giants. It is interesting that within this hexagon other atmospheric phenomena may be occurring that have not yet been recorded. Each new round of research reveals new facts about this mysterious storm. On Jupiter, a colossal storm known as the Great Red Spot is raging. This storm has been present for more than 350 years and could contain 3 Earths. Imagine this, the storm has a diameter of around 60,000 kilometers, which is impressive even by Earth standards, but that's not the most astonishing part. The wind speed at the center of this storm reaches 230 kilometers per hour, making it one of the most powerful atmospheric phenomena in the solar system. Many scientists wonder how such a massive formation can exist for so long. The secret lies in Jupiter's unique atmospheric conditions where there is no solid surface, allowing the storm to circulate indefinitely. But there's more. Astronomers have noticed that the size of the Great Red Spot is gradually decreasing, and its diameter has shrunk by 20% over the last 40 years. How is this possible? It could be due to changes in atmospheric temperature or the interaction between different atmospheric layers. But what's truly astonishing is that when viewed through telescopes, one can see that within this storm there are extremely high clouds reaching up to 100 kilometers, composed of ammonia and water vapor, creating fantastic patterns and colors. Do you know what's even stranger? Around the Great Red Spot, there are numerous small storms that create a unique atmosphere around this giant. These storms are like miniature whirlwinds that constantly change, adding more mysteries for scientists to solve. It's important to remember that Jupiter, as a gas giant, lacks a solid surface, making its atmosphere unique for study. Imagine what such a planet would look like if we could land on it. Endless clouds, scorching winds, and incredible color transitions in the sky. But that's not all. Recent research suggests that Jupiter's atmosphere may contain molecules of phosphine, a gas associated with life on Earth. So perhaps there's more to these turbulent clouds than just a storm. Scientists continue to study data from spacecraft like Juno to unravel the mysteries hidden within this planetary behemoth. And finally, did you know that the Great Red Spot has been observed not only by astronomers but also by amateur stargazers, and it can be seen even with a simple telescope? Cosmic strings are truly remarkable. Imagine one-dimensional defects in the structure of space-time that could have formed at the very beginning of our universe. According to string theory, these strings could be as small as 1 Planck length, which is 10 to the power of minus 35 meters. Do you know what that means? It's smaller than the size of an atom, yet they can contain immense amounts of energy. These hypothetical objects could be linked to fundamental forces of nature, such as gravity and electromagnetism, and might even explain how matter and antimatter interact. But wait, there's more. There's a hypothesis that cosmic strings could form string network, which could stretch over vast distances, billions of light years. These networks could be so dense that their interaction with surrounding space could distort it, creating effects that we observe as gravitational lenses. But that's not all. Imagine these strings oscillating, generating gravitational waves that could be detected by modern detectors like LIGO. This opens up entirely new horizons in astrophysics. But here's what's most shocking. Some scientists believe that if we could detect cosmic strings, we might gain access to new sources of energy that would revolutionize our understanding of physics. These strings could be the key to unifying all known forces into a single theory, the theory of everything. And if you think that's the limit, consider this. Cosmic strings might also influence the composition of matter in black holes, possibly even explaining their mysterious properties and behavior. This raises countless questions about the nature of matter and space. For instance, what would happen if a cosmic string collided with a black hole? How would it alter its structure? And finally, if cosmic strings did exist, we could use them to create technologies that we can't even dream of today. Now imagine if this theory wasn't just a hypothesis, but a real possibility waiting to be discovered. Amidst the silence of the starry expanse lies a cosmic cloud that can even bewilder the most seasoned astronomers. The cloud Sagittarius B2 contains colossal reserves of ethyl alcohol with a volume of an astonishing 300 billion liters. Imagine that this amount of alcohol could fill more than 300 million bottles. But that's not all. This cloud also contains complex organic molecules that can serve as building blocks for life. The cloud is located approximately 132,000 light-years away from Earth, and its dimensions are simply enormous. It stretches 30 light-years in diameter. Isn't that amazing? This cloud is not just enormous, it is also one of the coldest objects in the universe, with a temperature of a mere minus 260 degrees Celsius. Under such conditions, molecules do not decompose but remain stable, making the cloud an ideal place for study. But here's the thing, how could such a cloud full of alcohol have formed? Research shows that ethyl alcohol is formed through chemical reactions between carbon and hydrogen molecules in the depths of the interstellar medium. Now imagine that this cloud is located at the center of our galaxy, where stars collide and supernova explosions occur, creating perfect conditions for the formation of these complex molecules. Have you ever wondered how this cloud affects the surrounding space? Its chemical elements could eventually become part of new stars and planets, meaning that even cosmic alcohol could serve as the basis for future life. But that's not all. Scientists believe that the cloud Sagittarius B2 may contain up to 433 million tons of ethyl alcohol. This volume could soon influence our understanding of chemical evolution in the cosmos. And here's the question, if there is so much of this substance in the cosmos, Is there a chance that we will ever be able to use it to create fuel for space travel? There are more questions than answers, and this is just the beginning. According to the theory of inflation, our universe may be just one of many bubbles floating in the vast ocean of the multiverse. Imagine each of these universes as a separate bubble that emerged from colossal energy surges. At the moment of this explosion, the universe rapidly expanded, growing by millions of times in fractions of a second. This process, known as inflation, became the foundation for the structure we observe today: galaxies, stars, and planets. But this is just the beginning. If inflation is indeed ongoing, new bubbles could form, each with its own physical laws different from those we know. This sounds like science fiction, but cosmologists like Martin Rees proposed this idea in the 1980s, and it has since gained popularity. Now imagine a universe where the law of gravity is weaker than in ours, allowing for the formation of gigantic structures where stars are the size of planets. In another universe, life might have evolved based on silicon rather than carbon, as it does in our universe. What's even more astonishing, some research suggests that we might be able to detect other bubbles if they interact with our universe, creating anomalies in the cosmic background. And this is not just theory. In 2015, scientists at MIT discovered anomalies in the cosmic microwave background radiation that could indicate such interactions. So, what lies ahead? Perhaps we have a chance to observe neighboring universes that exist just a quantum leap away. And if you think this is madness, consider that our universe contains more than 100 billion galaxies, each of which could contain billions of stars. Each of these stars could have planets, and some of them might harbor life completely different from ours. What are the chances that you will ever encounter it? Imagine this. One day on a neutron star lasts only a few milliseconds. Yes, you heard it right. These extraordinary objects rotate so fast that they can make several hundred revolutions per second. How is this possible? The fact is that neutron stars form as a result of the collapse of massive stars that have exhausted their nuclear fuel. The remnants of their nuclei, consisting of neutrons, compress to an incredible density. 1 teaspoon of neutron star material weighs about 8 billion tons. Now imagine how this compression leads to an acceleration of rotation. The smaller the radius, the faster the object rotates, like a figure skater spinning faster by pulling their arms in. And what's even more astonishing? At such high speeds, the surface of a neutron star generates colossal gravitational fields that exceed Earth's by millions of times. These fields can warp space-time, creating effects that are hard to reconcile with familiar physics. Scientists have discovered that some neutron stars emit radio waves, forming what are known as pulsars. Their signal resembles a lighthouse rotating at high speed. When a beam of light passes by Earth, we see a flash that repeats with precision to the millisecond. And here's the mind-boggling part. Some of these pulsars can make up to 1,000 revolutions per second. They can literally ring in space, creating rhythms that are still not fully understood by scientists. How is this possible? The answer lies in the fact that during the collapse of a star, part of its rotational energy is preserved and transferred into more compact forms. This makes neutron stars not only some of the densest objects in the universe, but also very interesting for astronomical observations. Each new pulsar discovered by astronomers provides unique information about the physical laws operating under extreme gravity conditions. And here's the most intriguing part. In some cases, pulsars can even serve as clocks for measuring the curvature of space-time, as predicted by Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. In our galaxy, the Milky Way, which is just one of many, there are approximately 100 to 400 billion stars. To grasp these immense numbers, imagine that each star is a separate solar system with potential planets, moons, and even the possibility of life. This is just a drop in the ocean, as there are around 2 trillion galaxies in the universe, each of which can contain billions of its own stars. If you think these are just dry numbers, consider this. If you tried to count all the stars in the Milky Way at the rate of 1 star per second, it would take you around 3,000 years. And what about counting all the stars in the universe? That would take more than 30,000 years, but that's not all. Some of these galaxies, like the Andromeda Galaxy, are just 2.5 million light-years away and have more than 100 billion stars, making it our nearest neighbor. And in some galaxies, like IC 1101, stars can number in the trillions. About 80% of all matter in the universe is dark matter, about which we know very little, but which plays a crucial role in the formation and interaction of galaxies. Research shows that galaxies do not simply exist in isolation. They interact with each other, merging and forming spiral and elliptical galaxies in the process. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to witness such a merger? Telescope images showed two galaxies colliding and forming incredible structures, ejecting billions of stars into space. But that's not the end. Some scientists suggest that in a few billion years, our galaxy will collide with Andromeda, creating a completely new galaxy. Every day, astronomers discover new galaxies, and with each discovery, our understanding of the cosmos grows. For example, just a few years ago, the galaxy GNZ11 was discovered, located more than 32 billion light-years away, making it one of the most distant galaxies known to science. And it's not just that. There are even hypothetical galaxies, such as bubble galaxies, which may exist in dark matter but have not yet been found. This opens up incredible prospects and questions for which we currently have no answers. What do you think might still be hidden in the depths of our universe? Brown dwarfs are true cosmic enigmas that have sparked numerous questions among astronomers. Imagine an object that is intermediate in size between a planet and a star, yet unable to initiate thermonuclear reactions. These celestial bodies have masses ranging from 30 to 80% of the Sun's, which limits their capabilities. What's most remarkable? They can emit light, but only through the heat left over from their formation, not through thermonuclear synthesis like stars. Consequently, brown dwarfs radiate infrared light, which is difficult to detect without specialized telescopes. The first encounter with brown dwarfs occurred in 1995, when astronomers discovered two objects, Tau Boötes and Tau Boötes b. These discoveries changed our understanding of what stars and planets are. But wait, there's more. Brown dwarfs can form binary systems where two such objects orbit each other, creating extraordinary conditions for study, as their interaction can provide insights into the formation of planetary systems. And what's even more astonishing, some brown dwarfs possess atmospheres where chemical reactions can occur, similar to those observed on planets. For instance, astronomers found traces of methane and water vapor on the brown dwarf located about 36 light-years away from us. This challenges everything we thought we knew about the boundaries between stars and planets. What's even more intriguing is that some brown dwarfs have temperatures close to Earth's, making them potential candidates for the search for life. But how exactly do they form? The secret lies in the fact that they can arise from clouds of gas and dust that couldn't coalesce into a star, making their formation process unique. And imagine this, beyond our solar system there could be millions of brown dwarfs waiting to be explored. They might shed new light on our understanding of how planets and stars form, and perhaps one day we will uncover new forms of life hidden in their warm interiors. In space, hot Jupiters have been discovered, giant planets that orbit their stars in the opposite direction, challenging all existing theories about planet formation. Imagine a planet 3 times larger than Jupiter, but only a few million kilometers away from its star, making its atmosphere hot enough to melt metals. This means that on the surface of such planets you can find clouds of molten metal. But what is truly astonishing, these hot Jupiters can orbit in the opposite direction to their star's movement, raising numerous questions about how they formed. Typically, planets form from a rotating disk of gas and dust, and their orbits should follow the same direction as the star's rotation. So how did these Jupiters end up in such a strange position? One theory suggests that they could have formed at a great distance from their stars and then migrated closer, colliding with other planets and changing their rotation direction under the influence of gravity. Now imagine that some of them are even surrounded by rings similar to Saturn's, but in conditions where the star's ultraviolet radiation could destroy them. It is important to note that to date, astronomers have discovered more than 100 such hot Jupiters in other star systems, and each of them opens new avenues for research. For example, the planet designated HD 20581 orbits its star in just 2.5 days, making it one of the fastest known exoplanets. But that's not all. Some of these planets exhibit unusual atmospheric compositions that may contain water, carbon dioxide, and even methane, sparking debates about whether they could ever support life. One of the most mysterious discoveries is the exoplanet WASP-121b, which also orbits its star in the opposite direction. How is this possible? Scientists continue to explore these exotic worlds, and each newly discovered hot Jupiter adds more questions to this fascinating picture. Now imagine that among them there could be planets with conditions entirely different from anything we know. On Pluto, there is a region that astronomers affectionately call the heart, and it appears as if the planet itself has decided to show its love. This light form, resembling a heart, covers an area of about 1 million square kilometers and is primarily composed of frozen nitrogen, methane, and carbon dioxide. Imagine, it's like a vast icy plain that shimmers against the dark backdrop of space like a precious gem. But what is even more astonishing is that the temperature in this region is around -260 degrees Celsius. Can you imagine what that feels like? It's as if you were on a day that is 1,000 times colder than the coldest day on Earth. The heart of Pluto is not just an icy cap. This region has a complex geological structure, and scientists suggest that there may be liquid nitrogen beneath the surface, moving and creating interesting tectonic processes. Now imagine the mysteries hidden beneath this frozen layer. But that's not the most peculiar thing. Within this icy plain there are also massive ice mountains reaching heights of 3 kilometers. They are made of water ice and appear as if they were carved from cosmic marble. As for methane, its concentration in Pluto's atmosphere is also astonishing. It makes up to 30% of the total composition. This means that atmospheric conditions on Pluto are highly variable, and depending on the season, methane can accumulate or evaporate, changing the appearance of the heart. Isn't that shocking? These changes can be linked to variations in the sunlight that Pluto receives in its distant location, creating unique conditions for studying climate changes even on such distant planets. But let's return to the heart. Its shape not only resembles a symbol of love, but can also be an indicator of historical processes that have occurred on Pluto over billions of years. This region can tell us about how the planet formed and how it interacts with its surroundings. Research shows that the heart is constantly changing, and its study may open new horizons in understanding not only Pluto, but also other objects beyond our solar system. And who knows what else this mysterious world hides? Every day, approximately 100 tons of cosmic material in the form of meteoric dust fall onto Earth. Imagine that this is like having 20 large elephants falling onto the planet every day, breaking apart into the smallest particles. These particles, the size of grains of sand, are remnants of comets and asteroids that once traveled through our solar system. Did you know that in a year this amount accumulates to more than 360 tons? It's as if we received a whole bus full of cosmic debris every year. According to research, about 70% of this cosmic dust burns up in the atmosphere, creating vivid meteor showers that can be observed in the night sky. These meteors, like bright stars, leave behind sparkling trails, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. Most of this material is so small that it simply disappears into the air, leaving no trace. But here's the fascinating part. Some of these particles may carry information about the origins of our solar system. Imagine this. Each speck of dust contains a story that could tell us how Earth and other planets formed. Scientists from various countries, including the United States and Japan, collect these microscopic samples of dust to study them using the most advanced analysis methods. What have they discovered? Some of these particles contain organic molecules that could be precursors to life. This discovery challenges our understanding of how life arose on our planet. But that's not all. Meteoric dust can also influence Earth's climate. When it enters the atmosphere, it can alter the composition of clouds, which in turn affects the amount of precipitation. It's as if the cosmos itself were telling us how the weather changes. And here's where it gets really interesting. In some years, the amount of meteoric dust falling on Earth can increase several times due to passing comets. So at some point we might find ourselves in a situation where the sky is literally filled with glowing meteors, each one carrying a piece of the mysterious history of our universe. Scientists continue to study these meteors, and each new analysis could lead to remarkable discoveries about our connection to the cosmos. Scientific research shows that one of the meteors found in Antarctica, over 4 billion years old, contains information about the early processes of solar system formation. This makes us wonder what else might be hidden in this cosmic dust. In the constellation of Taurus lies one of the most mysterious and awe-inspiring celestial objects, the Crab Nebula. This cosmic object is the remnant of a supernova that exploded as a result of a cataclysmic event, and its light was observed by Chinese astronomers in the year 1574. But wait, that's just the beginning. The Crab Nebula is located approximately 1,300 light-years away from Earth and spans an area equivalent to about 6 full moons if they were placed side by side. This nebula is the result of a stellar explosion that occurred due to the collapse of the star's core, resulting in the ejection of massive amounts of gas and dust into space. You won't believe this, but this explosion released energy equivalent to millions of atomic bombs. The Crab Nebula has a diameter of about 6 light-years and is filled with remarkable details, bright gas jets, complex patterns, and even X-ray radiation emanating from the neutron star left behind by the explosion. Incidentally, this neutron star rotates at an incredible speed, reaching up to 43 revolutions per second, making it one of the fastest known stars in our galaxy. But here's what's even more astonishing. The Crab Nebula continues to expand at a speed of about 1 million kilometers per hour. This process has been ongoing for nearly 1,000 years, and scientists believe that the nebula will continue to exist for many more centuries, gradually losing its brightness. The Crab Nebula emits light across various wavelengths, from radio waves to X-rays, making it a subject of interest for astronomers worldwide. This nebula not only amazes with its size and brightness, but also provides scientists with a unique opportunity to study the processes of star formation and stellar evolution. And here's the most astonishing fact. At its center lies a pulsar, a compact object with an incredible magnetic field that can create conditions for the formation of new stars. What do you think might be hidden beyond the boundaries of this nebula? The Great Wall of Sloan is a colossal structure with a length of 1,370,000,000 light-years. This gigantic formation, consisting of galaxies, was discovered in the year 2001 and is one of the largest known objects in the universe. Imagine, this wall is so vast that if you could travel at the speed of light, it would take you nearly 1 billion years to cross it. But that's not all. The Great Wall of Sloan contains more than 80,000 galaxies bound together by gravity, and it holds around 20% of the visible mass of the universe. What's even more fascinating, these galaxies are not just randomly distributed, they form complex structures resembling enormous cells that we can observe in the universe. Their distribution and arrangement indicate how gravity has shaped the cosmos over billions of years. But how do such colossal formations arise? The answer lies in the process of galaxy formation and evolution, which is much more complex than we can imagine. There are different models explaining how galaxies gather into such massive clusters, and one of them suggests that they are drawn together by dark matter, which makes up a large part of the universe's mass, but remains invisible. When we look at the Great Wall of Sloan, we are actually looking at cosmic history, billions of years before our planet came into existence. Each galaxy in this cluster could contain billions of stars and even planets where life might exist. But wait, there's more. At the edge of this structure, galaxies have been found moving at extraordinary speeds, and scientists are still unable to explain why this happens. It might be due to the influence of gravitational waves created by other, more massive structures. This opens a whole new chapter in our understanding of the cosmos, as such movements could indicate the presence of unknown forces in the universe. And the craziest part? Some astronomers believe that the Great Wall of Sloan is just the tip of the iceberg, and there might be even more gigantic structures hidden in the depths of the cosmos, about which we haven't even begun to suspect. Did you know that the observable universe is approximately 93 billion light-years in diameter? This seems paradoxical, given that the universe itself is only 13.8 billion years old. How is this possible? The key lies in the fact that space itself is expanding. Imagine you are on the surface of an inflating balloon. As it expands, points on its surface move farther apart. In our universe, galaxies are moving away from each other, and the distance between them increases with each billion years. This expansion of space was discovered at the beginning of the 20th century when astronomer Edwin Hubble observed the redshift of light from distant galaxies, indicating their movement away from us. Did you know that the speed at which these galaxies are receding can reach more than 90% the speed of light? This means that even if some of them are 13 billion light-years away, their light may never reach us because they are moving faster than light can travel that distance. But that's not the most astonishing part. The expansion of the universe is not uniform. In some regions, it is happening faster than in others. This could be related to the mysterious dark energy, which is estimated to make up about 72% of the total energy in the universe. And here's where it gets really mind-boggling. If at the beginning of the universe it was concentrated in a point the size of an atom, now it has expanded to such an extent that we can only observe a part of it. And what's even more shocking, the visible light we can see makes up only about 24% of the total matter in the universe. The remaining 76% is made up of dark matter and dark energy, which remain almost invisible to us. This means we live in a world that is much larger and more complex than we can imagine. Consider that some parts of the universe may never be explored because they have already separated from us forever. This incredible paradox of expanding space continues to puzzle scientists, driving them to seek answers to questions that could change our understanding of existence. But what is truly amazing is that when we look at stars, we see them as they were millions or even billions of years ago because light from them travels to us at a finite speed. Every time we look at the sky, we are essentially looking into the past. Just a few million kilometers away from their stars, you can encounter exotic hot Neptunes, planets roughly the size of Neptune, but with surface temperatures reaching 1,000 degrees Celsius. Imagine a world where the atmosphere consists of a dense cloud of hydrogen and helium, and where rain isn't water but molten glass. These planets have such strong gravitational fields that they can hold on to their atmospheres even at such close orbits. Remarkably, temperatures on these planets can be as high as on the surface of a star, making their study a real challenge for astronomers. But what's even more astonishing? Some of these worlds may have their own ring systems, similar to Saturn's, but on a larger scale and with unique materials, from ice to rocks. Scientists have discovered that hot Neptunes can contain exotic molecules in their atmospheres, such as sodium chloride, which can form crystals at high temperatures. How could such planets have formed so close to their stars? The answer lies in their formation. They likely began their journey at great distances and then migrated inward under the influence of gravitational interactions. But that's not all. On some of these exotic worlds, the atmosphere can be so dense that scientists hypothesize the existence of powerful storms that can generate winds up to 100 kilometers per hour. This sounds like a scene from science fiction, but such conditions are very real. In recent years, more than 30 hot Neptunes have been discovered, each one hiding mysteries waiting to be unraveled. Studies show that some of them may even have conditions suitable for cloud formation, but not as we imagine on Earth. This means that on these planets, completely unusual climate phenomena may be occurring, of which we are only just beginning to grasp. For instance, in the system TOI-849, an unusually high temperature was observed, exceeding all known boundaries. This discovery challenges our conventional notions of how planets form and evolve in their systems. And now the craziest part. Scientists continue to search for such worlds, and each newly discovered hot Neptune could change our understanding of planets in other star systems. What other mysteries does the cosmos hold? Magnetars are not just ordinary neutron stars. They are the most powerful magnetic objects in the universe, possessing magnetic fields that are trillions of times stronger than Earth's magnetic field. Imagine this. The magnetic field of a magnetar can reach 1 quadrillion Gauss's, which is 300,000 times stronger than that of a typical neutron star. What happens near such an object? Even the strongest metals can be torn apart by such a magnetic field. Scientists hypothesize that magnetars can produce incredible energy bursts known as magnetic storms, which can release more energy in a short time than the Sun does over its entire lifetime. These bursts can be so powerful that they can be detected even on Earth. Don't be surprised if you see shocking news about strange radio waves emanating from a distant magnetar. There are only about 30 known magnetars, and each one is essentially a physics laboratory in space. Scientists study them to understand how such extreme magnets form and what influence they can have on the surrounding space. But there's more. One of the most famous magnetars, known as September 2010, is located about 9,000 light-years away from us. Now imagine a magnetic outburst in its vicinity, capable of disrupting communication on Earth and even damaging satellites. You might ask yourself, how could such an event affect our technologically dependent lives? What is most astonishing about magnetars is that their lifespan is not eternal. They gradually lose their energy and, after several million years, may become ordinary neutron stars. However, at their peak activity, magnetars can cause remarkable phenomena, from bright gamma flashes to influencing surrounding stars. For example, when a magnetar interacts with neighboring stars, its powerful magnetic field can cause changes in their atmospheres, leading to unexpected outbursts and even the formation of new planetary systems. Have you ever wondered what might happen when stars start dancing under the influence of such monstrous forces? Each magnetar is not only a mystery but also a key to understanding the laws of physics that operate in the most extreme conditions of the universe. Scientists continue to study these enigmatic objects, and with each new discovery, we get closer to unraveling the mystery of their incredible power. Are there even more powerful magnetic fields hidden in the depths of the cosmos? On Jupiter, polar auroras are so powerful that their energy is hundreds of times greater than on Earth. Do you know what this means? Their brightness can be so intense that they are visible even from distant space. These stunning light phenomena occur due to the interaction of Jupiter's powerful magnetic field with streams of charged particles ejected by its moons, such as Io. Imagine this. Io is not just a moon, but a true volcanic giant that spews millions of tons of sulfur dioxide into space, creating ideal conditions for the formation of auroras. But that's not all. Unlike Earth, where polar auroras are usually observed in high latitudes, on Jupiter they can occur throughout the planet, covering vast areas, even near the equator. Now imagine these auroras stretching thousands of kilometers in height, reaching the upper layers of the atmosphere, where temperatures can range from -30 to -40 degrees Celsius. And here's where it gets truly astonishing. Scientists have found that on Jupiter, polar auroras can be hundreds of times brighter than on Earth, and this is due to its incredibly strong magnetic field, which is 20 times more powerful than Earth's. What's even more shocking, unlike Earth, where polar auroras are often transient phenomena, on Jupiter they can last for hours, sometimes even days. Research has shown that these phenomena are not just a beauty, but an important indicator of the planet's magnetosphere activity. They can help scientists better understand how solar winds interact with planets and their atmospheres. This opens new horizons in the study not only of Jupiter, but also of other gas giants in our solar system. Moreover, Saturn's polar auroras are equally breathtaking. These light shows can occur even when solar wind is weak. It's awe-inspiring to watch nature create its own cosmic paintings using magnetic fields and energetic particles. Just think, on planets like Neptune, polar auroras can be completely different from what we see on Earth, with colors and shapes that can even surprise the most experienced astronomers. Scientific missions like Juno continue to explore Jupiter, and each new piece of information reveals even more fascinating aspects of these cosmic light shows. Imagine an event in space that releases energy in just 1 second, more than our Sun has over its entire lifespan. This is a gamma-ray burst. These mysterious phenomena occur when stars reach the end of their life cycle and their cores collapse, forming black holes or neutron stars. During this collapse, an enormous amount of energy is released, forming narrow jets of matter that move at speeds close to the speed of light. What's even more astonishing? When these jets hit our atmosphere, they produce gamma radiation that can be millions of times more powerful than any other radiation produced by stars. One such burst can release energy around 10 to the 34th watts. This is 1,000 times more than the total energy Earth receives from the Sun in 1 year. But that's not all. Gamma-ray bursts can last from a few milliseconds to several minutes, but their effects can be felt over billions of light-years. For example, a burst detected in 2014 was about 90 million light-years away from Earth and was so powerful that it could be seen even through weak telescopes. Now imagine astronomers using satellites like Fermi to detect these bright flashes and quickly trying to determine their origin. It's fascinating that gamma-ray bursts can occur not only from the collapse of stars, but also from the merger of neutron stars, making these phenomena even more complex to study. Scientific data shows that such events can happen every few dozen seconds throughout the universe. But here's the question. Are there gamma-ray bursts that could threaten life on Earth? Scientists have calculated that if a burst occurs within 100 light-years of our planet, it could have catastrophic consequences for the atmosphere, leading to mass extinction of living organisms. And the most intriguing thing? We still don't know exactly how many gamma-ray bursts occur, as many of them go unnoticed due to their short duration and vast distances. Every second in the cosmos, explosions occur that we can barely imagine, and scientists continue to explore these cosmic mysteries, trying to understand what else might be hidden beyond our perception. Astronauts returning from spacewalks have often described a peculiar phenomenon they call the space smell. Imagine a combination of hot metal, welding, and fried meat, and you'll have only a fraction of what they experience after working outside the shuttle. But where does this mysterious aroma come from? It turns out that it is related to particles that settle on their spacesuits when they are in a vacuum. When they return to the ship, these particles enter the oxygen-rich environment, making their scent noticeable. However, the most intriguing aspect of this phenomenon is that it is essentially the result of the interaction between high-energy particles and the materials of the spacesuits. These particles, which could be remnants of cosmic dust or even micrometeoroids, are subjected to high pressure and temperature, causing chemical reactions. What happens to our spacesuits? Their outer layer is made of complex polymers which, like human skin, absorb their surroundings. So when astronauts return to the shuttle, they inhale not just a smell, but a real cosmic history of their experiences. Did you know that this smell can vary depending on the location of the spacewalk? At low orbits, where the International Space Station conducts its research, the smell can be more metallic, while near the Moon, astronauts reported a more fried aroma. But that's not all. Some researchers suggest that the space smell may contain molecules that could be precursors to life. This means that every spacewalk is not just a job, but an opportunity to touch the mysteries of the universe. Can you imagine if we could capture this smell and create a new perfume? All this makes us think about how full of unsolved mysteries the cosmos is, and how each new spacewalk opens new horizons. Don't you agree that this only fuels our interest in what else the boundless cosmos might hide? Among the countless hidden corners of the universe, there are objects that behave as if they came straight out of science fiction. These are blazars. Imagine a quasar that instead of just shining, ejects powerful streams of matter directly towards Earth. These outbursts travel at speeds exceeding 80% of the speed of light, making them some of the fastest objects in the universe. But did you know that blazars are not just any quasars, but a special type of them? They form as a result of the active activity of a black hole located at the center of a galaxy. When a stream of matter rushes into the black hole, it forms an accretion disk that can heat up to millions of degrees Celsius, emitting light in the X-ray and gamma-ray ranges. Blazars are not only brighter than ordinary quasars, but also incredibly variable. Their brightness can fluctuate by tens of times over just a few days. This means that if you look at a blazar, you might see it completely different a few days later. But that's not all. Blazars can emit powerful radio waves that can travel billions of light years, reaching us here on Earth. It's interesting that their brightness can be so high that they become visible even against the entire cosmos, like bright lighthouses guiding us through the darkness. But how can blazars direct their jets precisely at us? This is because their axis of rotation aligns with the direction towards Earth, making them visible from our perspective. In our galaxy, the Milky Way, such objects are not observed, but in other galaxies, there could be hundreds or even thousands of them. One of the most famous blazars, known as BL Lacerti, is located about 1 billion light-years away from us and emits energy equivalent to trillions of solar luminosities. Remarkably, blazars can even affect the matter around them, creating powerful cosmic rays that may carry secrets about the beginning of our universe. Did you know that studying blazars can help us better understand how galaxies form? This mystery remains unsolved for astronomers. The Hubble Space Telescope has become a true phenomenon in astronomy. Over the course of its 30 years of operation, it has made more than 1,400,000 observations, equivalent to an immense amount of information about the universe. Imagine this, it's around 150 terabytes of data, comparable to storing nearly 30,000 full, high-definition movies. But that's not all. Hubble has witnessed cosmic events such as galaxy collisions and the birth of new stars, and its images have inspired an entire generation of astronomers and space enthusiasts. Did you know that one of the most famous images, the Deep Field in the Sculptor constellation, shows thousands of galaxies in a small area of the sky at a distance of 32 million light-years? This discovery has given scientists an idea of what the universe looked like in its early stages, when stars were just beginning to form. But the most astonishing thing is that Hubble can see objects at a distance of more than 11 billion light-years, as if they were right in front of us. How is this possible? Thanks to its unique optical systems and powerful sensors. The results of the telescope's work have formed the basis for more than 7,000 scientific publications, confirming its significance in understanding the fundamental questions about the nature of the cosmos. And what's even more shocking, even after 30 years of operation, Hubble continues to transmit new data, revealing new mysteries to us. Its portfolio already includes amazing photographs of exoplanets located beyond our solar system, raising the question, what are the conditions on these distant worlds? Beyond the orbit of Neptune lies a mysterious region known as the Kuiper Belt, where thousands of icy objects reside, including dwarf planets like Pluto. This belt extends from 30 to 150 astronomical units from the Sun and is a significant part of our solar system. However, what is truly astonishing is that astronomers estimate there could be more than 100,000 objects larger than 100 kilometers in diameter, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine a world where icy bodies orbit in the vast expanse of space, distorting the light of stars like ghosts hidden in the mist. And Pluto is not alone. The Kuiper Belt is home to many other dwarf planets such as Eris and Haumea, each with its unique characteristics. For example, Eris is slightly larger than Pluto and has one of the brightest surfaces in the solar system due to a layer of crystalline methane. But that's not all. Did you know that many of these icy objects may contain water in the form of ice, making them potentially interesting for future space research? Some scientists suggest that conditions suitable for the emergence of life might exist within these bodies. And it gets even more fascinating. Objects with unusual orbits have been found in the Kuiper Belt, raising questions about the existence of another undiscovered planet moving on a strange orbit. If you thought that was all, think again. In the 21st century, astronomers using the Hubble telescope discovered objects on the edge of the belt showing signs of active geology, which is a real puzzle. Each new discovery here raises questions about how our solar system formed. For instance, an object named Lemire has an atmosphere containing water vapor, indicating possible tectonic processes occurring even in these remote corners. This discovery shocked scientists as they did not expect to find such phenomena so far from the Sun. And what's even more intriguing, it is estimated that at the border of the Kuiper Belt, there are around 30,000 objects that could be potential targets for future missions. These worlds, hidden from our view, await discovery and exploration, and each new piece of knowledge about them reveals a little more of the mystery that shrouds our solar system. At the heart of the galaxy M87 lies a supermassive black hole with a mass exceeding 6.5 billion solar masses. Imagine that, a colossal object so dense that even light cannot escape its gravitational field. In 2020, we first saw its image thanks to the Event Horizon Telescope project, which combined data from 8 radio telescopes around the world. This was a true breakthrough in astronomy. We are not just hearing about black holes, but actually seeing them with our own eyes. The image captured in April 2019 did not show the black hole itself, but its shadow against the backdrop of a bright curved disk of hot gas surrounding it. This disk, composed of disintegrating stars and interstellar gas, rotates so fast that the temperature in its center reaches 1,000,000 degrees Celsius. Do you know what this means? Around the black hole, a powerful magnetic field forms capable of accelerating particles to high speeds, creating unimaginable energy flows. But that's not all. Scientists have calculated that M87 is approximately 70 million light-years away from us. This means that the image we saw was made in the distant past, when Earth was just beginning to develop. Moreover, this black hole emits powerful relativistic jets reaching lengths of 1,000 light-years. These jets are streams of plasma ejected by the black hole and move at speeds close to the speed of light. Isn't it amazing? And what is truly remarkable is that astronomers believe that such black holes could be at the center of many galaxies, including our own Milky Way. This opens up new horizons for the study of the cosmos and our own galaxy. Nevertheless, there are still many mysteries surrounding black holes. How do they form? How do they influence the formation of galaxies? And do you know that in their study, scientists might discover completely new physical laws that we are not even aware of yet? Imagine a world where rain falls from molten glass and iron, and the speed of the side winds reaches 7,000 kilometers per hour. Yes, we are talking about so-called hot Jupiters, exoplanets that are twice as massive as our Jupiter and orbit close to their stars. Temperatures on such planets can exceed 2,000 degrees Celsius. In such conditions, the atmosphere is not just heated, but ablaze, allowing metals to vaporize. Do you know what happens when metal vapor condenses into clouds? It forms droplets that, upon falling to the surface, turn into real showers of glass and iron, sweeping everything in their path. On such exoplanets, side winds are so strong that they can accelerate raindrops to speeds exceeding the speed of sound. But that's not the most bizarre part. One of the most famous hot Jupiters is the exoplanet WASP-121b. It is located about 700 light-years away from us and orbits its star in just 1.5 days. And now imagine that the temperature on its surface is so high that iron exists in a gaseous state, not solid as it does on Earth. This is due to the fact that the exoplanet is so close to its star that its atmosphere is literally burning. And here's where it gets truly crazy. Scientists suggest that hot Jupiters could have unusual atmospheric phenomena such as clouds of sodium and potassium that glow in the infrared range. This opens up new horizons for the study of exoplanets as scientists are beginning to use new observation methods to peer into their mysterious atmospheres. But that's not all. It turns out that some hot Jupiters can even have their own moons. This may sound like science fiction, but imagine a world where creatures have adapted to live on an exoplanet with glass rain. And the craziest part? Scientific models predict that temperatures on these exoplanets could be so high that lightning could form in conditions that we cannot even imagine. On the surface of the Moon, traces of astronauts from the Apollo missions have been preserved and have become genuine historical artifacts. Imagine this. These traces left in the lunar regolith are not subject to erosion, as on Earth, and will remain here for millions of years. Why? Because the Moon lacks an atmosphere, winds and water, which erode and alter the landscape on our planet. In this airless space, the footprints of astronauts who stepped on lunar soil in the late 1960s and early 1970s will remain virtually unchanged. For example, the famous footprint of Neil Armstrong, which he left in July 1969, will be visible for millions of years. But that's not all. On the Moon, other traces of human activity have also been preserved, including the tracks of lunar rovers left during expeditions. Did you know that these rovers, such as Lunokhod 1 and Lunokhod 2, were capable of moving across complex lunar landscapes and left tracks up to tens of meters long? This speaks to the uniqueness of the lunar surface. But what is truly intriguing is that all these traces are not just monuments. They can help scientists in the future understand how we explored our neighboring planet. For example, when the Apollo missions ended in the late 1970s, no one could have imagined that lunar traces would become an important element for future research. And imagine this. In several million years, when humanity might visit the Moon again, these traces will become part of a deep archaeological study. What else might be hidden under the lunar dust? Perhaps traces of other technologies that we cannot even imagine today. It's interesting to think about how our perception of these traces will change in the future. Planet HD 189733b appears to be a true culinary catastrophe. Imagine a world where it rains glass shards at temperatures around 1000 degrees Celsius. Yes, you heard it right. These shards form from silicate clouds that, upon encountering high temperatures, transform into sharp particles falling onto the surface at terrifying speeds. The wind on this planet can reach up to 8,700 kilometers per hour, meaning these rains don't just fall, but literally tear everything in their path apart. How is this possible? It's because HD 189733b is extremely close to its star, making it one of the most exotic places in our galaxy. If you could look at this planet, you would see its surface, framed by bright blue clouds gleaming in the light of its star like waves of an ocean, but lifeless. And now, the most incredible part. The temperature on this planet changes not only from day to night, but also with altitude. At around 30 kilometers high, the temperature can be significantly lower than on the surface. But how is this possible? It's due to the atmosphere, mostly composed of carbon dioxide, which acts as a greenhouse effect, trapping heat. If you were on this planet, you would not only have to shelter from the glass rains, but also fight against winds that could lift you off the ground like a feather. And here's what's even more shocking. Scientists suggest that HD 189733b might harbor exotic forms of life adapted to such extreme conditions. But how could they survive in such a hell? The answer might be even more intriguing. The cosmos is full of mysteries, and one of the most enigmatic is dark matter, which makes up approximately 27% of the entire universe. The thing is, we can't see it. Dark matter does not emit light and does not absorb it, so we can only infer its existence based on the gravitational effects it has on visible objects. For instance, when astronomers study the rotation of galaxies, they notice that stars at the edges move faster than expected based on the visible mass of the galaxy. This phenomenon points to the presence of invisible mass that attracts stars towards the center. Do you know what this means? Dark matter is like invisible shadows that shape the structure of our universe. A striking example is galaxy clusters, where dark matter acts as an invisible glue, holding them together despite the vast distances. Now imagine that for every visible galaxy there are 5 parts of dark matter. It's like looking at an iceberg, while most of it is hidden underwater. If you thought that was all, wait. In 2009, an experiment on gravitational lenses was conducted, which showed that dark matter can compress and form structures that we can't even predict. Scientists use complex algorithms to understand its distribution in the cosmos, and some of them suggest that dark matter might be related to exotic particles like WIMPs, which are candidates for dark matter. But here's what's truly astonishing. To this day, there hasn't been a single direct detection of dark matter, which calls into question our understanding of the fundamentals of physics. And here's the most incredible part. Dark matter may even interact with ordinary matter, but so weakly that we never notice it. Scientists around the world continue to search for solutions to this puzzle, and each new discovery brings us closer to understanding what's really happening in this vast cosmos. Imagine an object approaching a black hole, stretching out like spaghetti, a phenomenon known as cosmic spaghetti. The reason for this is that the gravity of a black hole is so strong that it creates a gradient of forces, causing one end of the object to experience significantly greater attraction than the other. When, for instance, a star or planet encounters such a gravitational behemoth, it becomes subject to this effect. As it falls, the object can be stretched to incredible lengths. It has been calculated that this process can occur even with objects hundreds of kilometers long. The most astonishing aspect is that upon entering a black hole, an object can disintegrate into molecules, releasing an enormous amount of energy. This energy can be equivalent to billions of thermonuclear reactions, making the fall an incredibly explosive and bright event. Did you know that this effect can be observed even from millions of light years away? Scientists have managed to detect the radiation emitted by black holes, which reveals light when objects start stretching and tearing apart. For example, the black hole in the galaxy M87 was the first for which an image was obtained, and it has a mass equivalent to 6 billion solar masses. This raises questions about how such a thing could happen and what processes occur near these mysterious objects. If you think this is already mind-boggling, consider that in some cases powerful jets of matter are ejected as a result of this process, moving at speeds close to the speed of light. These jets can extend for millions of light years in space, creating incredible cosmic phenomena that we can observe from Earth. And here's where things get truly mind-boggling. Some of these black holes can devour stars, becoming the centers of entire galaxies. And get this, these gravitational monsters can accumulate mass exceeding thousands of solar masses over billions of years. Venus has one particularly shocking detail. A day on this planet lasts longer than a year. Have you ever wondered how this is possible? A full rotation of Venus around its axis takes 243 Earth days, while its orbit around the Sun, which is approximately 125 million kilometers, takes only 225 days. This means that when you observe the sunrise on Venus, it happens only once every 300 days. But that's not all. Venus rotates in the opposite direction to the majority of planets in the solar system. So, if you were standing on the surface of Venus, the sun would rise in the west and set in the east. Imagine that. You watched the sun move across the sky in a completely unfamiliar direction, as if defying all the laws you knew about our world. Moreover, the atmospheric pressure on Venus is 90 times greater than on Earth, and its clouds are made of sulfuric acid. This dense atmosphere traps heat, resulting in the highest surface temperatures in the solar system, around 800 degrees Celsius. This means that if you tried to land on Venus, you would not only have to contend with hellish pressure and temperature, but also with a constant rain of corrosive acid. And what's even more intriguing, Venus's atmosphere has remarkable properties. It traps solar heat so effectively that it makes the planet the hottest in the solar system, despite Mercury being closer to the Sun. But there's still more mystery. Scientists believe that Venus could have once had conditions similar to Earth's. There are theories that its surface could have had oceans, and that life could have flourished. However, when carbon dioxide in the atmosphere reached a critical level, the planet's climate changed drastically. Did simple organisms ever exist on Venus? And if so, where are they now? It seems that every discovery on Venus raises even more questions. And what's most astonishing, despite all its extreme conditions, scientists still dream of missions that could reveal the secrets of this mysterious planet. Its surface has features like volcanoes that could be active, giving hope that it still holds its secrets. But what mystery will it reveal next? On Enceladus, Saturn's moon, truly remarkable phenomena occur. Geysers of water erupt from the icy crust, reaching heights of up to 500 kilometers. Imagine these powerful jets of water piercing the cosmic void, creating water clouds that can rival the size of entire planets. These geysers not only expel water but also mixtures of organic compounds, leading scientists to ponder whether life exists in the subsurface ocean hidden beneath the thick ice crust. Some of these jets contain salts and other chemical elements that could serve as food for microbes, making the chances of life in this extreme environment increasingly plausible. Scientists from the Cassini mission have gathered extraordinary data on the composition of these geysers, and their research suggests that the water in these jets may be significantly warmer than expected, indicating geothermal activity on the moon. Now imagine oceans beneath the ice crust with depths reaching over 100 kilometers. This means Enceladus could be a true laboratory for studying exotic forms of life. But that's not all. These geysers play a crucial role in shaping Saturn's rings adding masses of ice and water vapor to them. And here's what's astonishing: the geysers erupt with such force that their jets can reach speeds of up to 200 kilometers per hour. This creates a unique dynamics in the Saturn system, where the interaction between geysers and rings gives rise to complex and unpredictable processes. What must it be like to witness the formation of new ring elements right before your eyes, created from water and ice? And the most fascinating part: scientists suspect that such processes may not be unique to Enceladus, but could also occur on other Saturn moons, opening new horizons in the search for life beyond Earth. In space, molecules of alcohol have been discovered, and this is not just an interesting fact, but a real sensation. Imagine this: in the clouds of gas from which stars are formed, scientists have found ethanol, the very same alcohol that is in your favorite drink. Yes, you heard it right. Research conducted with telescopes like the Atacama Large Millimeter-Submillimeter Array has shown that in molecular clouds located 130 light-years away from us, there is ethanol. And now the most intriguing part: these clouds also contain complex organic molecules such as methanol and acetaldehyde. How can such substances exist in space where there is endless cold and vacuum? The answer lies in the fact that these molecules form on the surface of dust particles that condense gas, creating ideal conditions for chemical reactions. Scientists suggest that these processes could be key to the formation of life on other planets. But that's not all. In 32 molecules found more than 100 light-years away from Earth, elements were identified that could support biochemical processes similar to those on our planet. What's even more shocking: these molecules could be precursors to amino acids, the building blocks of life. In some clouds, such as the Orion cloud, astronomers have detected not only ethanol, but also other organic compounds that could serve as the basis for life in conditions that we can hardly imagine. Imagine how this could change our understanding of the origin of life in the universe. Moreover, in some studies, it is reported that in the clouds where stars are formed, astronomers find molecules that are structurally similar to those found on comets, which challenges traditional views on how life could have emerged on Earth. Over 30 years ago, scientists even proposed that comets could have brought organic molecules to young Earth and thus triggered the appearance of life. Finding themselves in the right conditions, these molecules could become a source for the creation of more complex structures. But that's not all. Research shows that there could be many more organic compounds in space than we ever imagined, opening new horizons for astrobiology. Can you imagine how many more mysteries are hidden in the boundless expanses of the universe? The temperature of the cosmos can surprise even the most seasoned scientists. In the Boomerang Nebula, the temperature reaches almost minus 273.5 degrees Celsius, making it the coldest known place in the universe. But how is this possible? In this nebula, located about 14,000 light-years from Earth, gas and dust are scattered at incredible speeds, creating conditions that are simply impossible to imagine. These elements are actively cooled as a result of expansion and eventually reach temperatures below absolute zero, where molecules practically stop moving. But wait, that's not all. Inside the Boomerang Nebula, there is water vapor that, reaching such low temperatures, begins to condense, forming ice crystals that can outshine even the most powerful stars. In such cold conditions, physical processes change. Ordinary laws of thermodynamics no longer apply, opening new horizons for astrophysicists. For example, in conditions where the temperature is close to absolute zero, there can be anomalous superconductivity, where liquid flows without viscosity. And did you know that in the Boomerang Nebula, molecules of carbon monoxide have been found, moving at a speed of about 160 kilometers per second? This is simply astonishing. Imagine them racing through the cosmos, leaving trails in this icy vacuum. But that's not all. The Boomerang Nebula is also a place where new stars are born. In such extreme conditions, matter is compressed, leading to the formation of protostars. And the most amazing thing, these stars can form faster than in warmer regions of the cosmos because cold matter is less susceptible to interactions. This nebula, being not only the coldest, but also the brightest known, emits light that can be observed even with small telescopes. And when astronomers direct their instruments at Boomerang, they see not just a nebula, but a whole laboratory where nature tests its own laws. This region gives us the opportunity to look into the future of star formation and understand how stars formed in the first galaxies. So, if you thought you knew everything about the cosmos, think again. There are places where physics behaves completely differently, and Boomerang is just the beginning of amazing discoveries. The planet WASP 12b is so close to its star that its temperature reaches an incredible 2,000 degrees Celsius. This causes its atmosphere to almost completely evaporate, creating a visual effect as if the planet is constantly breathing. Imagine a planet the size of Jupiter, shaped like an egg. This is due to the strong gravitational pull of its parent star, which causes unusual deformations, making it unlike any other known planets. Now, the most shocking fact, every year it experiences its summer season in just 8 hours. This means that within this time, the planet completes a full orbit around its star and its surface undergoes massive temperature fluctuations. The main reason for this phenomenon is that WASP 12b is on an orbit that is 300 times closer to its star than Earth is to the Sun. But how does such strong gravity affect its atmosphere? The intense radiation from the star heats the atmosphere to a temperature at which gas molecules begin to escape the planet at high speeds, leading to its loss. Similar processes are observed on other exoplanets in the habitable zone, but none exhibit such extreme conditions as WASP 12b. What's even more peculiar? The astronomers observing this planet have detected a unique chemical composition in its atmosphere, elements like sodium and magnesium, which are not supposed to exist under such conditions. This discovery challenges our understanding of how atmospheric conditions form on exoplanets. Now imagine that on WASP 12b there could be rainfalls of molten glass falling from a height of 30 kilometers onto its surface. This is a completely new reality where the physical laws we know seem out of place. Scientists continue to explore the mysteries of this planet, and each new fact raises even more questions about what might be hidden in its atmosphere. Did you know what star nurseries are? They are regions in space where new stars are born from giant clouds of gas and dust. For instance, the Eagle Nebula, located about 2,500 light-years from Earth, is one of the most famous such nurseries. Inside this nebula, temperatures reach 3,000 degrees Celsius, creating ideal conditions for star formation. But that's not all. Molecules like carbon monoxide and water vapor have been found in the nebula, which serve as building blocks for planets. Do you know how this happens? In the gas clouds, compression occurs due to gravity. When the cloud becomes dense enough, its temperature rises and eventually a star is formed. It's like the launch of a rocket. The compression of gas creates pressure and the star explodes in its glory. But what's truly astonishing is that in the Eagle Nebula, stars 10 times more massive than our Sun have already been discovered. These stars have a short but intense life cycle, lasting only a few million years. And now imagine that in these stars, in their cores, nuclear reactions occur, producing elements like carbon and oxygen, the very elements that make up us. But that's not the most peculiar thing. In the Eagle Nebula, stars form at an incredible rate, up to 30 new stars per year. It's a real cosmic factory where new stars are born every day. Do you know what's even more astonishing? These stars sometimes become supernovas, expelling a massive amount of energy and materials into space necessary for the formation of new planets and even new star systems. It's a kind of cosmic reboot where the old gives way to the new. In the Eagle Nebula, protostars are also observed, objects that have not yet reached full maturity but possess sufficient mass to begin fusing atoms. Their brightness is millions of times greater than that of our Sun, and they are surrounded by disks of gas and dust that could one day become planets. Currently, these protostars are in a state of constant change, and their study opens up new horizons in astronomy. Are you ready to find out how stars like those born in the Eagle Nebula can influence life on other planets? In the cosmos, absolute silence reigns, and this is not just a poetic metaphor. It is a reality based on physics. Sound waves require a medium to propagate, and in the vacuum of space, where the density of matter is extremely low, they simply cannot exist. However, this does not mean that there is no information in space. In fact, there are electromagnetic oscillations that serve as true messengers from the depths of the universe. These oscillations cover a wide range of frequencies, from radio waves to X-rays, and are the result of various cosmic processes. For example, stars emit electromagnetic waves when their cores fuse, releasing colossal amounts of energy. But what is truly captivating is that NASA has developed technologies that allow these invisible signals to be converted into sounds that we can perceive. 85% of the radiation received from cosmic objects falls outside the range of human hearing, but with the help of special equipment, these signals can be converted into an audio format. Thus, when the Cassini research apparatus transmitted data from Saturn, the team of scientists converted the electromagnetic oscillations recorded around the planet into sound waves that sounded like a mesmerizing cosmic orchestra. What is even more astonishing is that these sounds are not just random noises. They can tell us about the composition of planetary atmospheres, magnetic fields, and even the interaction of solar wind with the surrounding space. For instance, when the Voyager spacecraft flew past the gas giants, researchers were able to hear how their magnetic fields interacted with the solar wind, creating sound melodies that could captivate even the most discerning listeners. These discoveries open up a completely new perspective on the universe, allowing us to hear what was previously only visible. And in this cosmic orchestra, we can discover not only the sounds of the planets themselves, but also their conversations with various cosmic objects, creating unique melodies that hold secrets waiting to be deciphered. On Mars, there is a volcano named Olympus, which is the highest mountain in the solar system, reaching a height of 21 kilometers and 900 meters, which is 2.5 times higher than Mount Everest. Imagine the grandeur. Picture yourself standing at the foot of this colossal mountain, and you need to climb to the summit where the atmosphere is thin and the temperature can drop to minus 130 degrees Celsius. It's not just a high mountain. Olympus is a shield volcano with such gentle slopes that it's hard to perceive it as a classic volcano. Its base stretches for almost 90 kilometers, and the crater at the summit is 30 kilometers in diameter, larger than many cities on Earth. But that's not all. On its surface, there are traces of lava flows that indicate the volcano was active relatively recently, just a few million years ago. The most astonishing fact is that Olympus could accommodate all the heights we know on Earth, and there would still be space for additional mountains. It has been proven that its formation could have continued for billions of years, and scientists suggest that if Earth had no tectonic activity, its volcanoes could have reached such heights. And this is not just a theory. On Mars, there are no tectonic plates, allowing volcanoes to grow without losing their mass. Olympus is also surrounded by vast plateaus and canyons that create a mesmerizing landscape, reminiscent of Mars' Grand Canyon, but on a much larger scale. Some sections of its slope are covered with sedimentary rocks, suggesting the possible existence of water in the past. The volcanic activity on the planet was likely related to its internal processes, leaving open the question of what other secrets might be hidden beneath the surface. Gazing at Olympus, one wonders about the meteorological conditions that could have contributed to the formation of such a colossal structure, and what's even more amazing, its slopes might contain traces of life that once existed on this planet, and scientists continue to study this enigmatic volcano in the hope of uncovering new mysteries. In the heart of our galaxy, the Milky Way, lies a supermassive black hole known as Sagittarius A star. The mass of this mysterious entity is 4 million times greater than that of our Sun. Imagine for a moment, if you could visualize a mass equal to 4 million solar masses, you would have an idea of the power of this gravitational field. But that's not all. The event horizon of Sagittarius A star is approximately 32 million kilometers in radius, more than twice the distance from Earth to the Moon. How is this possible? The key lies in the fact that black holes absorb everything that enters their gravitational pull, including light. This makes them invisible to ordinary telescopes, but astronomers use radio waves and X-rays to analyze their effects on surrounding space. By studying stars orbiting Sagittarius A star, scientists have determined its mass and dimensions. Do you know what happens when a star approaches a black hole? It begins to distort and stretch like chewing gum in a process called spaghettification. This occurs due to the powerful gravitational field acting on the star. The closer the star gets to the event horizon, the stronger this effect becomes. Some stars near Sagittarius, a star, move at incredible speeds, up to 1,000 kilometers per second. This means they can orbit the black hole in just a few days. Scientists have even discovered that during the process of being consumed, black holes can eject powerful jets of matter, moving at speeds close to the speed of light. These jets can extend for thousands of light years, creating awe-inspiring phenomena that can be observed through telescopes. But this is not the end. There is a hypothesis that Sagittarius A star may be just the tip of the iceberg. Within our galaxy there could be dozens, if not hundreds, of similar black holes, each with its own unique character and history. Now imagine that in our galaxy, consisting of more than 100 billion stars, there are even more mysteries waiting to be uncovered. In the constellation of Aquarius lies an incredible water cloud, containing over 140 trillion times more water than all the oceans of Earth combined. Imagine, this cloud of water, located more than 12 billion light-years away from us, is one of the largest water formations in the universe. Its volume is estimated to be more than 1 trillion billion cubic kilometers. To grasp the scale of this phenomenon, remember that 1 cubic kilometer of water weighs approximately 1 billion tons. This means that the cloud in Aquarius weighs more than all the resources that humanity has ever used. But that's not all. In this cloud, there are water molecules that formed billions of years after the Big Bang. This makes it not only the largest, but also one of the oldest water reserves in the universe. What's even more shocking? This cloud was discovered only in 2006, when astronomers, using radio observatories, were able to detect its unique signals. These signals indicate the presence of water vapor, confirming the existence of a vast amount of water in the cosmos. But how does this relate to our understanding of life on other planets? Research shows that water, as the only element necessary for life, could mean the existence of conditions for life somewhere far from Earth. Now imagine that in this cloud there could be molecules that were once part of another planet, possibly inhabited. The water we see today could have once been where life forms developed. This discovery not only raises questions about life on other planets, but could also change our understanding of the origin of water on Earth. In recent years, astronomers have continued to study this water cloud, trying to determine how it could have formed and what chemical processes are taking place within it. And what's truly intriguing, the water vapor in the Aquarius cloud could contain organic molecules that are the building blocks of life. Are we on the brink of a discovery that will change our understanding of the cosmos? How many more such clouds could be hidden in the vast expanse of the universe?